Hey, Judy.
Hi, Leah.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Anatomy of Ancestral Alchemy. I think I said that right this time.
I'm so like anti anything perfection anymore. I'm like, whatever we're doing is what we're doing.
It's just very funny when I switched words that one time. Anyway, grateful to be here with you all. And we thought today we would talk a bit about body image and yeah, the ways that that impacts our way of being in the world and the things that complicate that for us, and including ancestry. Judy, I am curious, would you want to quickly share your update from last time? Because I do feel like that would be really helpful for the viewers to hear.
Yes, I will try to keep this brief. So, we explored in our last episode this pain that I was feeling from the top of my neck down through my leg. And then I got body work done, which helped a little bit. And then I went to a retreat in Washington. So, I was on the plane for 6.5 hours. It was okay until I did this activity where we were walking through a ceremony where we made these beads, and the prayer beads that I made that I'm wearing around my neck right now was like a reclamation of my life, basically. Same trajectory as the more that I claim my life as my own and the more joy that I embody, the more constriction and pain I feel on the left side of my body connected to women or the maternal or the female energy. And so when I created the beads, which is like my life, my liberation, my joy, my body, those types of like words, reclamation words, the intensity increased so much that I couldn't even sit or stand anymore. I went back to my room. I did a bath with herbs that would hopefully help ease some of the pain. And then I took a nap. And it was still really painful. But I made a decision. I was like, I really want to complete my project, which is this necklace that I'm wearing now. And I was like, fuck it. I'm not going to let the discomfort stop me from claiming my body through this process. And so I went back and I completed the necklace, and the pain was still there. And the next day, I had saved a cup of the bath water. So there was like yarrow in it and chamomile and roses. And I just put it over my body, and I did it on the left side. And I just said, you don't have to go away, pain. I accept you there. I know that you're there for a reason. Thank you so much for trying to take care of me. I just did that with the water. Okay. And then I did it on the right side. And thank you so much for the ways that you're showing up for me, body. Like, I honor you and I appreciate the ways that you're trying to help me live my life, kind of thing. And the pain went away.
Love it.
So weird. So weird. And then I was on the flight back, which was this other debacle that I won't even get into, but I was literally on the plane for 8 hours, I think, because of the delays. And so my body's okay. So that's my update.
Great.
When I didn't try to get rid of the pain and I accepted it and honored it for being there for a really good reason, it went away when I stopped resisting it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah, it felt really like a very important update for our watchers and our listeners to hear. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tied to our topic today, I wanted to share a quick story about something that caught my attention on social media. I don't remember what platform it was, but it was on social media somewhere. I had seen this reel, and it was an image of a woman kind of half masked so that I think she was unidentifiable. And her legs spread open and like a cover between her legs. And then there's a male surgeon sitting next to her. Assuming gender here, but seemed fairly clear in the image. And what I could feel was one, just the power dynamic of that picture. First of all, even though I'm sure part of it was trying to be kind around identity online, it was odd that she was even blindfolded and half masked and in this very vulnerable position with this male doctor sitting next to her. And he had a big smile on his face.
Let's just land with that image
Yeah.
for a second. Can we do that?
Yeah, how does that land in your body?
She was masked like over her eyes.
It's like this portion. So just her lips are showing, her mouth.
Okay, I can understand the confidentiality piece, but it reminds me of some pornography, like this power over domination,
Mhm.
a little bit of kink. And also, and we can talk about it a different episode around domination,
Yes.
okay, and kink culture. I don't judge. It's fascinating where I think it might have originated. Anyway, but the power differential around like medical professionals, male-bodied, and what they do to the female body, and I'm connecting that specifically to the denied rights of gender affirming care and access to abortion.
Yep.
So I feel it here, and it's like disgust. I have a little nausea, a lot of rage, and I'm trying to stay open to this conversation.
Yeah. Totally fair. Yeah, when I sat with that image and I saw that image, I was like, what the fuck? Quite literally, that was the rage wanting to come out of my body from the image alone. What the fuck? Yeah, and when I sit with it now, I still feel that like rage bubbling up. It's like a volcano wanting to just continue to yell and scream and be like, how dare you? Righteous rage seems right. Yeah. Yeah. I take a look at what this is actually advertising. It's advertising labia fluffing.
I'm trying not to make a face.
Labia fluffing. Yeah. So think about female anatomy and labia and the different ways that our bodies present female parts, right? What they look like all across the spectrum of thin to use the word here, fluffy to somewhere in between, right? And so this is actually advertising like engorging the labia. And yeah, let's just sit with that for a second and see what lands in bodies.
Yeah, engorging the labia.
Yeah.
And I'm connecting it to like when people like engorge their lips to make it fuller and plumper looking. How does it land in my body? I don't understand. There's a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
How does it land in your body?
For me, it's like I'm not ever fucking good enough. My body will never, ever be good enough in this world. It's like defeat. I feel really defeated, and then I feel really deflated. The opposite of fucking fluffing.
Opposite of fluffing.
Yeah. So really deflated. Like
Right.
exasperated. Like it's exhausting to fucking try to keep up with the things that are asked of cis female bodies.
Yes. Would you like to twist something to get some of this rage out?
Sure.
So this is an activity I offer clients, and it's like, you're invited to try this out. I like pull on my chair, or when I'm driving, I do this often, and it's with the intentionality of getting the excess energy out. So rage is powerful and helpful, but if it's too much, you might land it on the wrong body and you might be missing the information that's coming out. So this is a somatic exercise you can do, and it's basically like you twist, and it's a very slow, intentional process, and you activate your entire body, so your core and your upper back, because you're trying to exit out the intensity through adrenaline and cortisol. And then the key here is that you bare your teeth, because that is the primal way of telling people to back off. It's a boundary, no. So I just invite you. You ready? And what was the phrase that you said? Not good enough?
Or my body will never be good enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I just invite you to say that. Okay, so ready? Let's do this.
Okay. My body will never be good enough.
And then pause at the hardest part and then slowly relax. And then just let that land and settle the nervous system to just unwind from that. What's happening now?
Yeah, I definitely feel a tension release. Definitely feel a slowing down.
Has the phrase shifted? I'm sorry, I interrupted.
It's okay, go ahead.
I'm just wondering if the phrase or sensation in your body has shifted at all.
Yeah, I think the slowing down is actually sensation based. I can feel the tension release physically and a slowing down of the volcanic rage that was coming up. But yeah, sensation has definitely shifted. I think what's helpful now is I can get underneath the rage. And so then there's sadness. There's just, oh, fuck, this is so exhausting and so sad what we've done to people and their bodies. And then there's more origin story of what that's connected to for me, right? I was never thin enough. I was always the curvier person. Yeah, think about I have a dental appointment today, and the first dentist I ever went to in the Boston area told me I'd look more sophisticated if I got my gap fixed. I could go on and on about the ways my body's been degraded over time. So for me, it's okay now that the rage has subsided, and that makes sense, right? Rage being secondary emotion. It's like now I can get into the underlying feelings creating that rage. Yeah.
So secondary feeling meaning it's protective of more vulnerable
Yeah,
feelings, which
exactly.
is often like fear or sadness.
Yeah. And from a parts-based perspective, it'd be like the parts that hold the exile energy. Yeah. Thank you for that.
It's interesting when you say that, it's like, what I wonder is, did you invite people's opinions of your body?
Oh.
They just offered it.
Yeah. I just offered.
It's interesting. It reminds me of a story. May I share it?
Sure.
So you talked about you being on the curvier side. I
Mhm.
remember a gentleman who is older, older than my mom, but was like took a liking to our family. He had helped us build the restaurant. And so he was a regular customer and all these other things. And I remember he was sitting so I grew up in a restaurant. And so in the restaurant that I'm talking about, there were these booths. And one of them was like for the staff or me, basically, that I would prepare food or snow peas or whatever. And so I remember one day I was sitting in the booth, and 2 booths down was this person. And he was talking to a friend, and he said it in this tone. He's like, once Judy gets some boobs, she'll be a knockout.
Oh. So freaking upsetting.
Gross. Okay.
What the fuck?
I was like 14. My dad hadn't died yet. So my dad died when I was 15. So I was 14. Okay. So let's just zoom out for a second. So this guy's older than my mom. So he's probably like in his 50s or 50s at least, commenting on the body of a 14-year-old, saying that once she got some boobs, she'd be a knockout.
Yeah.
That's so disgusting.
Okay.
So not even the
14.
Yeah. And that he would think that it was okay to say. And what I remember was like, I hadn't even realized that there was something defective or unappealing about my body. But that comment has always stuck with me. Because I'm going to tell you, I never really developed boobs. Right? And so it was just like this not enoughness. I remember just comparing my body to everyone else at the school.
Yeah.
As all of us have been taught to compare our worth to others around, right? Rather than really learning to get to know this body, as your temple, as your vessel that you're here on the planet with, in adoration and cherishing. What we've learned is to degrade.
Yeah.
And to objectify and to criticize is heartbreaking.
It was so heartbreaking. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure many of you listening have your own stories around this, sadly.
What I'm sitting with, though, can I
Yeah.
just for a second, is I took it in as truth. I took it in as truth. I didn't have the discernment muscle that I've been working so hard now to go, is this my truth? Do I want this truth?
Yeah.
A question mark. Holding it at bay before I let it enter my body, this vessel that I cherish and protect. I took it in as truth.
Yeah.
Which I think is interesting with like social media, right? Especially with AI right now. Like we need to question everything. I get my most accurate information from social media, and I have to research all of it to make sure that what's being presented is accurate information.
Yeah.
But what I'm sitting with, the topic that you're talking about with labia fluffing, is that it's coined as something valuable and something that women should consider.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, and I will say, like, I'm not someone that is completely anti plastic surgery. Like, someone had commented that the reason they had gotten it done is because they felt like there was so little tissue down there that they weren't comfortable, like, even being able to ride a bike, things like that. To me, that's like functional necessity for that person. Except that they may need to do that to feel physically comfortable. I think what I'm referring to is more the sense that that this is being advertised as a way for your vagina to look more attractive. And that felt very clear to me based on this ad.
Especially with it, he was like smiling. The doctor was
Yeah.
smiling. Yeah,
Yeah.
that lands really strongly with me too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm never fully anti anything unless it's completely hateful. There's a spectrum of choices that we make, and we do our best to make those choices. And what are we doing when we are advertising? The bodies need to look exactly the same. Yeah. And what is that doing for women too? Like when I think about who these ads are targeted toward, I'm sure that I got them because I've been looking up stuff on perimenopause. And so then you start to dig into, to your point around AI and social media and algorithms, how we then start being fed stuff based on age and what society thinks is happening to our bodies, and how labias change over time, and how there's something wrong or unappealing about that. Yeah, and I think this is where I start to tap into ancestry too, because that makes me think about the maiden mother crone archetype. And it's like the crone energy's just been wiped out. The old wise woman, she doesn't, we don't want her to exist in this society. We want her to stay young and pretty and, and passive.
Right. What's interesting though is after menopause, women are the most productive. Like that's how it lands for me. When I heard about this statistic, it was like, that's when they're actually free to be themselves.
Yes.
Versus the caregiver because that impulse to caretake is gone. This reproductive, like nurturing energy is gone.
The mother phase.
The mother, yes, phase. So much powerful work comes forward in this crone stage because the wisdom and the guidance.
Yeah. And so if we take that even further back into ancestry, at one point, matriarchies became threatening.
Yes. Threatening to whom?
I wonder. I'm hearing, I think, a crow outside right now. I'm not surprised. Nature's always talking to us and vice versa. Yes. Thank you, crow energy. Yeah, quite literally the patriarchy, right? Yeah. So it becomes another way to keep women small and fluffy, apparently.
What's interesting, I've been really sitting with this, like, I'm raising two girls, right? They're assigned female at birth. At this point, they're still using she, her pronouns, and they're deep in the rabbit hole of skincare, clothing to look a particular way. And I've been sitting with the function of like how women of different ages enable this type of patriarchal system of centering beauty and being picked. Yeah, and like ancestrally, right? I can see multiple things of it's scary to be attractive because then you can be targeted for like sexual assault and that kind of thing. And there's power in being pretty and privileged, quote
Pretty
unquote.
privileged.
Yes, because then you might be more valued and protected.
Yes.
So I see this push-pull that I also feel of, I just sometimes want to go out with no makeup on. And I never actually wear makeup. But then it's like this sense of, oh, but I should take care of my skin. And like this push-pull of, am I doing it because I'm protecting my body? Or am I doing it because I want to be perceived as worthy? And it's very messy. It's very, tethered in some ways.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely have the same dilemma internally around things too. I wear very minimal makeup, but there were periods of time where I really loved putting on like a full face of makeup. And for a long time, there were aspects of it that felt very artistic. Like I got really into doing body painting and like more of the, I forget the word for it now, but more of the artsy aspect, really dramatic eye makeup and fun, like sparkly lashes and almost like cosplay, like that type of costuming makeup. And I still feel that to some degree. And actually, ancestrally, if you look over time, makeup's been used by all genders. Yeah. That's the other thing here. by all genders throughout hundreds of thousands of years for various reasons. It's also interesting looking at the history of makeup too, and why it became a thing. Oftentimes started with, like, I was reading about the Vikings the other day and them using war paint, and the big part of that for the Vikings was that it scared their enemy. So it was like a psychological tactic, actually, which is interesting when you think about survival, right? Of pretty privilege and that actually being like a trauma response.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Or at least if we think about like makeup aesthetic, pretty privilege, right? Then there's genetic pretty privilege. What do you look like without makeup? And other people's usually European features being the standard for genetic pretty privilege. Yeah.
In other words, anti-Blackness.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's been interesting for me to like help give weapons to somebody, help protect my kids, right? I do a lot of, where do you get that belief, or where did you get that from? So when they're like looking at their clothing or how they look, I'm like, why is this important? I don't know. Mom, you don't judge me. This is me claiming my power or whatever. I'm like, okay, I understand that. And right, we have to question the messaging all time. When I heard the song around Victoria's Secret, the person behind Victoria's Secret was a man. It made me think, oh yeah, like this standard of beauty, the clothing that we put out there for these youth is so revealing, right? And so it makes sense for some person at the top who tends to be a man, be able to say, let's tell them, right, market to them that this is them claiming their power, and in order to claim their power, their skirts need to be up their ass and showing all their skin. It's reclaiming their body, and actually it's not. Right? It's dressing up this body so it can be consumed by the people around. So it's really, how can I invite their questioning my kids, because I don't want to insert that you have to do anything differently in your home. But for me, it's been really important to get them to question everything because it's so toxic. Yeah. Like I can understand on one hand, yes, we have every right to dress our bodies the way that we want to. And let's question where we got this standard of dress. Is it functional? Can you sit in a car seat that's skin is it's hot, and is it functional? Does it give you the freedom that you need to if you need to move your body in a certain way? So it's like, how do I question everything? Because the origination inevitably lands in some type of, in my mind, colonialism or trauma.
You're right. Yeah, and something I like to ask myself too, is this making me feel more like my authentic self, and a way in which is this a vehicle for self-expression? Genuinely. And that energy feels very different for me than I need to put this on because it's the only way people are going to accept me, right? Yeah. That I will get any sort of attention. Yeah. Even though there may be validity to that too, based on societal standards. Yeah. Yeah. Is this a vehicle for self-expression?
And does it make me relax? Is how I perceive it, right?
Yeah.
Our last episode was around constriction. If you're constricting or analyzing or critiquing your body, that's constriction, that's judgment, that's like harshness. Versus if you're allowing self-expression, liberation, freedom, love, unconditional to your body, that's going to be expansive.
Yeah.
So another way to explore it.
Love that.
All I see are labia.
You close your eyes and they're just labia. I go like this, little wings. Little wings.
I love you, Labia. I'm not gonna fluff you. You're just perfect as you are.
So funny. I love it.
I'm blushing now. It's so funny.
It's funny. Yeah. And here's the thing too, right? Like we've all at some point probably done something to our bodies that disrespected it to appear a certain way.
Yeah.
Like in a lot of ways, we've all been there.
Yes. Yeah. This is not about judgment. It's about curiosity. How do you stay open to understand and learn your body better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
all a process of data collection and learning.
What?
I'm just laughing at the little flying labia around. That's so funny.
There's this artist I know that makes, I think it's called Yanni pendants.
Uh-huh.
Little, I
Yeah.
just have it right here, dangling.
Great. Anything else that wants to come through about this? Let's see. Yeah, as I close my eyes and feel into it, I just see the generations of pressure growing on women's bodies.
Can you describe the pressure? What do you mean?
Yeah, like the hand-me-downs just keep building, right? Now it's the pretty thing to shave. Make sure you shave every bit of hair off your body, right? Now your body needs to be this size. Oh, in the 90s it was like super thin, right? Like I think of Kate Moss. And then it's the Kardashian body, curvy, sharp, blah, 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 blah. It's just like every generation has its burdens that just keep getting carried down to some degree. And some of those have stuck for longer periods of time, like shaving or lots of makeup or bigger boobs. Like I think of kind of the classics, so to speak, that have stuck throughout time and history. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
It's interesting. It started with some anger and then we were laughing about it. And now, as you talked about the generational kind of progression or the what's in vogue, basically, when you talked about it, it was like a lot of money is to be had, right? To get thin, there's all this money to be had in diet and culture. And then to be like full, buxom and get butt implants and stuff like that, it also is money making.
Yeah.
So it underneath all of this is who benefits when you don't feel like you're enough. It's capitalism.
That male surgeon sitting there.
I'm gonna make a lot of money. Don't you wanna?
Yep, no, it's so true. And I think I'm so glad you said that because it speaks to the intersection of capitalism alongside sexism,
Patriarchy, yeah.
and patriarchy.
It's what keeps them in power, is believing them as truth without questioning and saying, actually, I'm all set. I'm not going to buy your product. I'm not going to buy your belief. I'm not going to take it in.
Yeah.
Because my body is good enough.
Yes.
As it is.
Yeah. Oh, I will say, I'll start to line this down by saying I'm very appreciative of, to circle back to my dental story and my appointment today. There was a form, and one of the questions was, have you ever had any upsetting dental appointments or procedures or anxiety around that? And I was like, great, I'm going to be honest. So I wrote on there, yeah, I had a dentist once tell me I'd look more sophisticated if I got my gap fixed. That was upsetting. Just leave it there and we'll see if my dentist mentions it at all. It's okay if they don't, but it'll be interesting to see. And to know that times are also shifting in a way where that stuff's being noted more and taken into consideration is appreciative. And to me, that's the alchemical. I love how you always end these with, what's the alchemy we're bringing in here? It's, yeah, how are we being curious about the way that people's bodies have been degraded over time? And how's the medical industry handling that? With integrity too.
Right.
I know people too who go to doctor's appointments now and they have no weigh policies. They're like, we don't weigh people anymore because that was just too emotionally stressful for people. So doctors are being more sensitive to that too. Some of them, which is great. So let's keep it going.
Seeing the person behind for the care, not like lumping everyone at the same and doing the same treatment on everyone because everyone's a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me make space to hear your story. That's what I heard in that question.
What do you need?
So can we do that with our own bodies? Like Judy got curious with hers and the water cleansing and listening. And how do we do that for other people?
And when someone makes a comment about your body, you can say, no, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. No thanks.
I did not give consent.
Anything else that wants to come through your heart?
It's just like this, my body, my choice, my business is how it feels.
Yeah. Yeah.
How about you?
I think for me, there's also a reminder here of how strong our bodies are and how much they've carried continue to carry, how much they've endured. Bodies are very resilient. So
Yeah.
so sitting with that.
And I'm sitting with the vulnerable too.
Yeah.
So we need to protect it from other people's belief systems. Yes, it's strong and resilient. And what would it be like to lean into the softness of it?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to our watchers, our listeners, and please share and subscribe.
Yes. For anyone you think would benefit from this information or this type of exploration. Times like these, it's like we need all the different people in.
Yes, we do.
Right. Take good care, everyone.